Oh, these are all thorns. I'll see you later. I'm going to go die. There he is. Hello and welcome to the Tuscarora Trail. This is a 250-mile path that's going to connect the Appalachian Trail at mile marker 955 all the way over to mile marker 1136. This trail is going to go through the ridge and valley regions of Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia. The Potomac Appalachian Trail Club maintains most of this trail with some other organizations that help along too. In 2015, with a grant from REI, this trail has got some really nice signage. Hundreds of new signs have been added to this trail to guide you along the way. Here we are at the first view I have of the trip. I think this is Cumberland Valley we're looking into right now. And I'm just about 5 miles in on my first day right now. Now to get to the trailhead for this, you have to hike on the AT for, it seemed about 2 miles, which I didn't know it was gonna be that much. I was expecting closer to a 12-mile day. We're gonna have a 15-mile day here on the first day. But luckily, once I hit the Tuscarora Trail, the first 3 miles were smooth sailing, so I really caught up time then. The first destination is gonna be Charlie Irvin's Shelter. I'll be doing a lot of shelter camping on this trip, or at least shelter areas. Still might be using my tent, but from what I've read too, most of the shelters I'm going to be coming across are relatively new shelters. I have sketched out roughly an 18-day trip to complete this 250 miles. It's actually going to be 257 because there is going to be a detour, a 7-mile detour. We'll talk about that when we get there. That's a long ways off still. My first leg of this trip is going to be a 7-day carry to Hancock, Maryland. So that's my first goal. It's a little over 100 miles. So I have a route planned out. Shelter about every night, I think, except for one on this first section I'm doing. Now the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club have a great website and some great guidebooks and some great maps. We'll get into throughout this journey. I'll share them with you. And possibly I'll have a just separate video on how I plan this whole trip. So the Tuscarora Trail is split into sections. This is section 1 we're going through today. I'm at the point now where I'm coming to the last water source I'm going to have all of tonight and almost 9 miles into tomorrow. So I'm going to go off trail. we're at Long's Gap Register. I'm gonna take a detour down Long's Gap Road here, and there's supposed to be a spring. And that's gonna be all the water I have for tonight and into tomorrow morning. So I did find the spring down here. It's trickling. I had to use my old Sawyer squeeze bag for a water scoop to fill up my 5 liters I have here. So I have enough water for tonight and tomorrow. So we have about 4 miles left till the shelter area. Oh man, this is heavy. It really just hit me. I decided to I like the Be-Free filter system so much that I decided to go all in on it. For my dirty water carry on this trip, I have a 3-liter capacity. So that with the liter that the Be-Free comes with, I brought that too for a spare. And my liter bottle are all full, 5 liters now. Oh man, this is going to be a heavy 4 miles. So on day 1, right out of the car, hitting the trail, base weight and consumables, I was at 27.5 pounds. Felt pretty good until now. This is a lot of weight. This is probably the most weight I'm going to have on me the entire trip. So the Tuscarora Trail goes through a lot of private land, a lot of state game lands. And right now we're going through a wildlife sanctuary. Now through these areas you can't camp, you cannot build fires, you have to follow the rules. It's private property. So you have to camp in designated areas until you reach some state forest lands where you can kind of camp wherever. That's why today it's going to be about a 15-mile day for me, because I can't camp until that shelter area that I'm coming to in about 4 miles, less than 4 miles now. So, and it's been very rocky through this area here. So right now I'm walking through the Audubon Hawk Sanctuary. Now there is a lookout that I chose not to go to because honestly I'm just trying to get off these rocks at this point. I got to deal with these rocks all day tomorrow too. I've had enough of the rocks already today, and we got big views coming on this trail, so I'm anxious to get to camp. It's been a long day traveling, all of that put together. I decided to skip it. I'm about to cross Route 74 up here, and soon after that we're going to reach Wagner's Gap, which is going to be the end of section 1. And soon after, camp. Now they're not calling for rain, but looks like it might rain. We've been getting a lot of rain lately. And it looks like when I started this trip, I got a few days of pretty dry, it looked like. So it's a nice start on this, especially these rocky sections. So there we are crossing 74. And I think we're gonna have a climb up to Wagner's Gap. And soon after that, Charlie Urban Shelter. Now in 2015, the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club that maintains most of this trail got a grant from REI, and they got all new signage throughout. And here's another one I'm coming across here. They're really nicely made and gives you an idea where you are on the trail. So we got 0.8 miles to Charlie Irvin, and we can look on the other side and we can see how far have we really gone here since we hit Tuscarora Trail. 12.3 miles, plus probably 2 miles on the AT to get there. Why do all of a sudden I feel like I'm breaking out of prison? Looks like a watchtower of some sort. So that's a radio tower. The trail is going to continue behind it somewhere. I feel like I'm in Metal Gear Solid. And we have arrived. Not a bad day of hiking. This actually looks pretty cool. Oh my. Wow. That was worth the walk. Look at that shelter. Look at this view. I was worried too because there was like 3 guys walking the opposite direction of me, obviously probably coming from here, beer cans in their hand, blasting music. I'm like, oh man, hope there's not a whole party going on up here. But got the whole place to myself so far. It's Sunday night, but tomorrow is Memorial Day, so. Wow, what a beautiful shelter. Good morning. This has got to be the coolest shelter I've ever seen and probably will ever see. Really quiet night. Listened to roosters crowing since 5 a.m. though. Wasn't too bad. Still got to sleep in a little bit. Right now I'm just planning out my route for the day. I do have a basic plan for this whole trip I have here, but yesterday was about 15 miles to this shelter from the AT. Today I only have 12 miles planned to Wagon Wheel Shelter. We're gonna have some big views at the end of this section. So the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club, they have a great website for the Tuscarora Trail. And on their website, they have nice summaries of each section. I went ahead and just printed out the pages on the website, and I cut out a card for each one. That's the one I used yesterday. And I use it as a bookmark for the chapter I'm on. This is the guide to the north half you can get from their website. This has been very helpful. Step-by-step directions. Gives you points of interest, places in town nearby that you're going to be going by. And I print out the cards because it's a summary of each section, and it's a little bit of just quick information rather than here. So, and it's a nice bookmark. And like I was saying earlier, the maps are great too. You have the elevation gain up here, maps with more than enough detail than you need, and most of them are both sided. This one is not both sided, but some of them are both sided. Gives you some real detailed information on different sections you see here. This is a place people would pay to stay at, you know? They should charge you here. So pretty soon here we're going to be leaving that wildlife sanctuary. We're just walking along the boundary of it now. And it looks like I get a break from these rocks for a little bit. That's slow moving through there, slow moving. 4 miles since I left camp, and it's been almost 3 hours. I'd say about 2.5 hours. Those rocks slow you down. But we're just crossing over into Sterretts Gap right now. Pretty soon we're going to be getting into Tuscarora State Forest. One of the worst things that could possibly happened. Hasn't happened to me before, but miles and miles back that way, I left my filter somewhere. Well, last time I filtered water, and a lot of rocks and a lot of miles. I'm not turning around. I have iodine tablets here I'm going to use for my backup. I want to boil water tonight, but I'm not turning around. I just contacted my wife, and she's going to look into sending me a new filter once I get to Hancock, and I'll have one there. Possibly I could buy one there, but I'm going to be going straight to the post office. If I can have a filter there waiting for me, then great. So she's on that right now. I can't believe I did that. The whole water filtration system that I switched over to, I do like, but it just threw me off, I guess. And I think I just set the one bag down with the filter in it and had these 2 other bags, put them on my pack. Next thing you know, I'm walking down the trail with the bag on the ground probably. That was a while ago too. I remember I mixed the orange drink in it, and that was at like 10:30 this morning. That was like 3-4 hours ago, and through all those rocks, man, I'm not letting them make me quit. Nope. That's why I got back up. The water I do have is full of a bunch of debris too, and I wasn't really worried about it because I was filtering it out. And So I'm gonna go ahead and not even filter that. In about a mile, we'll be coming into our first stream of the day. Hopefully I can get some cleaner water out of that where I can put my iodine tablets in. Half hour after that or so, I'll have some water to drink. Man, I'm not very happy about that, but you know, that's why you come prepared. And I'm not going back. Nope, I'm not gonna beat my body up going back over those rocks. I got more rocks to go over. That's why I got a support team at home. That's why I got backup plans. We're gonna push on. So the propel's gonna have to wait. Here's another example of the great signage on this trail. We have 3 miles left till we get to the shelter I'm staying at tonight. And 0.2 miles before that is, a stream. Anyway, I forget what it's called. So I'm gonna fill up on water there. Hopefully it's running nice and clear. 2.2 miles from here, we're gonna have a nice big vista. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm still waiting on this water. 35 minutes I gotta wait from when I get water to when I can drink it. It's making me thirstier by the minute. I'm not gonna let it stop me again. I'm just kind of laughing at it. You know, it is what it is, man. Here's another intersection for a trail. 2.5 mile loop. I think that'll eventually lead back up to the Tuscarora Trail. Wildcat Run. I think that's the name of the stream I was trying to find back there in my brain. Got a lot of things going on right now. I did send the message home, so the support team is on it. Hopefully I can get a new B3 sent to the Hancock post office, general delivery. I don't think it should be a problem. Probably just gonna have to like 2-day deliver it or something like that. But hey, can't let it stop me. That was an amazing view of the Cumberland Valley there. Flat rock. There's a pretty big group of people there. They're just moving on, and there's still some more people there. So I got some more rocky path until I reach the shelter. Right before the shelter, hopefully Wildcat Run is going to be flowing nice. And as for why I'm starting to see more people now, I saw somebody even before that, a guy and his dog coming up here. I'm right above Colonel Denning State Park. It's Memorial Day weekend, and this is day hike loop trail that I'm on. That was an amazing view though. And as you can see, there's more trash in this area. Well, that's the first piece I've seen, but people, humans, and you can see the yellow blazes I'm following down, along with some of the light blue that designate the Tuscarora Trail. Well, it looks like Wildcat Run is flowing pretty good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and make it to the shelter and come back without the pack, the 0.2 miles to get water, because I still have some water on me. I think I'll choose to do that right now. Welcome to Wagon Wheel Shelter. Big change from my shelter last night, I'll say that much. Nice flat spot over here to lay in. I think I'll probably have a tent night. I apologize for any profanity that I just videoed with all that graffiti in there, but maybe I'll look at it, maybe I won't. So ever since that last trip, when I went out with Bill on the West Rim Trail, that was, a month and a half ago. I had some knee pain after that. Turned out after going to the doctor, being evaluated by some physical therapist, IT band syndrome. So I've been hitting that hard for 5 weeks now. Twice a day, strength exercises and stretches, and then twice a week at physical therapy with the weight machines and some other things they have me do. And I tell you what, when I started, I couldn't even do 3 miles. I was limping after 3 miles. And they knew I was going for this, and you know, I know it was only 5 weeks, but I did it as hard as I could, and so far so good. This is the closest thing I can find to ice, is this stream water back there from Wildcat. Where am I? Is it Wildcat? From the stream back there. Nice and cold. It feels great on my knee right now. But yeah, it's been holding up fine. I've been stretching like crazy. Maybe I'll go over my stretches. I'm no doctor, but you know, I'll tell you what I do and what I learned. But feeling pretty good, hopping on all those rocks for 2 days. But this feels real good. On this trip, I ordered a new box of different kind of food. Good to go. First time ever trying it. So with this water, I'm gonna have to boil this for a minute straight. So I put a little extra fuel in. I wanna make sure that vigorously boils for 1 minute to kill off anything in there. The water's nice and clean looking, but just to get rid of the bad stuff. At least there's no debris in the water over there. Okay, that's been well over a minute of that, so I think I'm good to go. What's spicy? Very flavorful. A lot of bits in here too to get at. Hey, so dinner was good. I really like that. I can't wait to have the other one. That'll be somewhere down the road. But good news on the water filter. I did get in contact with my wife, and she actually got a hold of one. So she has a B free right now. And I was like, great, you know, get it sent to Hancock. You know, I have 4 days to get to Hancock, so I was a little worried about the iodine pills. But I thought I could manage. I can manage. Got a message from her shortly, a little bit ago. She's on her way here. I can't believe it. How lucky am I? Good morning from Wagon Wheel Shelter. So last night, I did get the new filter. It wasn't as easy as we expected. I had to walk the 1.5 miles all the way down to Route 233 on the Tuscarora Trail. And then hike all the way back up last night. But it got done 2 or 3 hours later than I wanted it to, but it is done, and I'm very grateful. It was worth it. It was worth it. So today we're hiking through section 3 and some of section 4. My pack feels pretty light today, actually. And that's good. 2 days of food off my back. And the miles are about to pick up now. It's not so much about the miles today. We have 15 miles planned. But today's a big elevation gain day. I hope a lot of the rocks are behind me. But the rain's coming in about 2 p.m. predicted. Now I just hiked this last night, like I said. Here's another one of these new REI signs. I shouldn't call them REI signs, it's Tuscarora Trail signs, you know, from the REI grant. So we have 1.5 miles down to Route 233. And then, like I said, I did that last night, down and back. So it was an extra 3 miles yesterday on top of my 12. I think I said earlier, if not, I'd let myself sleep in a couple extra hours today just because I didn't get to bed so late. So I feel good about that though. We're leaving at 9 a.m. I have 15 miles planned. I have hopefully 4 hours before any rain hits. And we got a big downhill coming. What a fun, crazy surprise that was though. Like I said, I'm so very grateful that I have a new filter now. Didn't have to wait 4 more days to get one. And really, the iodine pills worked, but I have to use 2 of them every time for 1 liter of water. And I was a little worried Well, I'll say I was worried that I might run out of them. You know, it's part of the adventure now. It's part of the story. And I'm not stressing about the miles today. We're on the Tuscarora Trail. Big adventure. Let's have some fun. In 4 miles, I know we're gonna get to some water when we run into Bill Miller Trail. Our stop tonight is Fowler's Hollow Shelter, 14.1 miles from this sign, and 221 miles left total. Boy, it is humid out. You can just tell it wants to rain. This is like walking through soup. Already, not even 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, just a short walk up that road. I think we're just turning up Elk Hill Road here. There's the blue blaze. I think this is my all-time favorite colored blaze on any trail I've ever done. Let me see if I can not mess up the history of this trail. So in the 1960s, there was concern that part of the Appalachian Trail might possibly lose ownership or allow use through the private areas there. So the people that run the AT set out to try to find an alternate route to get around that if it did happen. Now up north here, this northern section we're doing, was a group of people from York, PA. They mapped out this northern section we're doing here. Down south, now I think these might have been about the same time period, not exactly the same time period. A guy was mapping out the Big Blue Trail from the Appalachian Trail to Hancock, Maryland. As things progressed and things were voted on, they decided to name the entire route the Tuscarora Trail. But as a nod to the Big Blue Trail, all the blazes are blue. And some of these I walk by, you can actually see they used to be orange, I think. And when they made that vote and they came through, they repainted all the blazes blue up here in the northern section. Day of elevation. You see these here are regular Pennsylvania rocks. What I had the last 2 days were outrageous Pennsylvania rocks. This I can move on quicker. Still gotta watch, I'm still gonna trip, but it's not gonna be a snail's pace. 0.3 miles to my next water source and my first break. So I'm way up trail trying to find water, and this is the only water I can come across up here. I had to drop my pack at the top there. I'm hoping this is going to be okay. It's disgusting looking. Oh, so we're back. I scraped as much leaves and stuff as I could out of there and let it settle with as much patience as I could, as I had on me. So That's my result. It's cold. It's cold and it's wet, ain't it? Water actually came out really clear when I filtered it through that. Added an orange drink to it. Delicious and cold. Having a nice little break here. I have about 5.5 miles to my next water source, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, fill this up, maybe another liter, we'll see. The end of section 3 is about 4 miles away. Ended up being a pretty relaxing break there, actually. I always get a little frustrated when I have to like go off trail to get water. Even though I kind of knew that was the plan, I'm like, oh, this is really steep. It's not that bad. Still got to sit down for a bit, re-energized. Decided just to take a liter of water with me for this next 5.5 miles. I think I'll be just fine. From what I remember, I think we're going to be crossing Laurel Run. Possibly take another break there. Okay, here is Cowpens Road and the end of section 3. Section 4, here we come. Taking a break here at Laurel Run. It's a beautiful stream. And there is a nice campsite right next to it here. I actually drew out a plan, one of my plans for this. I had a few plans for this trip. One of the plans was me staying at this camp here. I had some meat and I had a power bar and I mixed up this liquid IV I got into mixing with my element drinks. Firecracker flavored. And yes, it smells so good and it tastes just like those popsicles. And in this cold stream water, oh man, it's really good. From here, I have 4.5 miles to the shelter, and I plan on leaving here right at 5 o'clock. So I think I should be able to get there. I have an 8 o'clock target I'm going for. I'll be happy with that. Like I said, I left late this morning on purpose. No rush, we'll get there. Dry. All right. Hello, so I'm tucked into the shelter here, waiting for dinner to get ready. I did a ton of stretching and the rain has not stopped, has not let up since. It's just been getting steadier and steadier. I'm trying to get a beat on the forecast. Reception is a no-go here. And the satellite messenger is just in and out, so it's just a waiting game at this point. But I'm here early enough. It's 8:45 right now. I have a big day planned tomorrow, the biggest day of this leg of the trip, and this rain has got me worried. The shelter seems comfortable enough. The hay floor is kind of funny. This is my manger. It's very comfortable. I'm just walking around in my bare feet in there. Yes, yeah, I'm studying up on the maps for tomorrow. I'm looking at the guidebook. I think it's going to be some long water carries too. So I got to get on that. I got to eat, and I got to try to get as much sleep as I can and get up early. Well, see you tomorrow. Hello again from Fowler's Hollow Shelter. Yeah, I'm still here. I made the decision to stay here another day. Been watching the rain forecast as much as I could. The satellite messenger is not getting through as easy here as it does in other places. So I'm playing the waiting game on that. Hopefully in the long run this was a good decision. Well, since I have some time to kill here, let me show you around Fowler Hollow Shelter. It's quite rustic. I ended up setting my tent up last night, but I'm not really taking up any more room than I would if I didn't have the tent, so I don't feel bad if somebody else shows up. I can even move it over a little bit. Clothesline up in here, going across. Wire, actually, metal. They actually have a bear hangover here, which is cool, so I utilize that. The privy's right down the hill there. And over in the corner here, that little stash area, they have a chest there. All that's in that chest is an old Kelty sleeping bag and I think a couple rolls of aluminum foil. This little box here, this had some, probably for fire starter in there, matches that are gone, well, not gone, but useless. A spoon, fork, looks like a can opener with a corkscrew. And my favorite find is there's a dart. I found a dart in here. So you wouldn't believe what happened. Another Tuscarora Trail thru-hiker came through. He's going the opposite direction. Told him of my situation. I just took a day off trying to avoid the rain. He would have done the same thing, but he was on a schedule. So to help him out, he said, hey, you can help me out and I can help you out. He had some extra food he didn't want to carry. Long story short, I got a decent amount of food. So I have dinner for tonight. I don't even eat tuna, but I'm eating tuna tonight. Rice and beans with tuna, spicy pepper. He had reception earlier on in the trail. And plus with the little information I can get, they kind of match up together that it's going to start fading off. He said he heard around 5 o'clock, which is in about 20 minutes from now. I just hope in the long run, this was a good decision. Keep telling myself, I've avoided a whole day of just getting drenched. So I took my chances. Maybe tomorrow I won't have a whole day of getting myself drenched. I'm prepared for it, I know, but maybe this morning when I woke up, I wasn't mentally prepared for it. Now I'm getting mentally prepared for it. Now I can't wait. I'm just watching the clock. I couldn't be happier with my decision right now. It's fine right now. A little bit of sprinkles coming from the trees, but so far I think I made the right decision. The only thing is, I used that day up so early on the trip. I don't think I can afford to do that another day. Now we're going to start the next section, which is going to include a 10-mile water carry, which I think is the entire section, just about. So far, I do already have 2 more zeros planned, unless that plan changes, or if I change some of my mileage throughout the trip, which I don't really see happening. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. One step at a time, like I've been saying. But it'd be nice if this rain holds off most of the day. That'll really make me happy, because it just poured all day yesterday. Talking to the other thru-hiker coming through, he was miserable. Cold. It's a lot warmer today too. I think as the night went on last night, there's a little sprinkle from the trees. I think as the night went on last night, it slowly got a little warmer too. 46 miles in. Well, I just signed that trail register right there. And somebody, oh, not even a week ago, was coming northbound on the trail. And they said, from that trail register to 641, where I'm heading, the end of this section, is very wild and rocky and rough. Tall grass, ticks and snakes, he pointed out. So, I mean, I don't have that much further to go. We are 6.5 miles in and on the 10 miles or so. So, not even 5 miles of this. I've done worse than that, right? Bringing back Standing Stone vibes. Tuscarora Trail and the Standing Stone Trail do link up at one point coming up here. I don't know if we'll do that today. I know by tomorrow. I think. I'm more and more glad I took yesterday off. Going over these rocks, all that lichen on there, that'd be so slippery. It still is kind of slippery. Yeah, this definitely is a pretty rocky section, rugged section. Boy, I tell you what, it's a good time to have these gators. This is all thorns, grown in, overgrown. Overgrown. Pans, gators are great here. Yeah, some slippery climbing coming through here. Lost the trail here. It's in front of me. There it is. Probably be some nice views up here. Wasn't for that. Here's some tall stuff here. Ooh, that thorn got through. These snakes sunning themselves today. I bet this would be an epic view. Big view, big power line view. Now that road right down there, that's 641. We're gonna be heading down there. Well, we made it down to the spring. Made our 10-mile water carry. Now let's do another one. I have about 2 liters on me and then another 1 liter here. Probably more water than I need, but I'm gonna take a pretty good break up here, so I'm gonna drink a lot. About to end this section, start section 6, 10 miles to camp. Up here on the power line here, actually pretty nice view with the crackles above me here. I'm gonna try something else from Good to Go. Cucumber chat salad. This is a cold soak. Flavorful. I was hungry too. We have about 5.5 miles left to get to Bird Run Shelter. Or is it just bird shelter? I don't know. It's a little spicy too. I see the spice meter there. Not all the way up, but halfway. No protein. This is completely vegan. 410 calories. And looking back, you can see that ridge right in the middle of that valley there is what we came in on. That's what we hiked in on this morning. It came down through all that farmland. And up on the other side we are now. Pretty soon here we're gonna get a 20 for the day. And then when we get to the shelter, 22. Let's go for it. Double deuce. Well, I'm so glad I took that day off. This would have been not fun at all in the rain. Without the rain, this is actually kind of fun. Just going over all this, traversing over all this. And you got these views over here that pop out every once in a while. This next 3-mile section is going to be just like this with views on either side here and there, according to the guide. Now at this point here, we are hiking right above the Pennsylvania Turnpike tunnels. That's what I came off of this morning. I love when the climbs are worth it. Just being climbing and climbing over rocks. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Up, but always up. Look at that. That's why. Woo! Welcome to Bird Run Shelter. This is a neat one. Nice porch. Looks like they got a cloth up here, probably to keep the bugs out. That's so cool. Yeah, 22 miles. Yeah, that feels good. Let's check out the inside. Oh, we got a log book. Oh, a window up there. Room. Oh, this is nice. Awesome. Very cool. Well, that was a noisy shelter. You got the turnpike over here. It must be the turnpike noise. Traffic noise all night, which isn't too bad. Every once in a while you get a loud truck. But something woke me up at night. There's like something living up there, like up in the, right above the porch. I'm thinking it had to be a bird. It definitely was like, what is that? You know, it's not an insect. It's not like a mouse or something. And then there's some other little things going on in there. Probably just moths and crickets, I think. But yeah, I'm glad I put my tent up in there. Like I said, it doesn't take up any more space than maybe just a couple more inches than my pad would. because I don't stake it down so it's not all wide. Oh, cool looking shelter though. Very cool shelter. Really neat shelters on this trail. The wagon wheel shelter was so-so. I think the wagon wheel shelter might have been from the AT, and I think Charlie Irvin, the guy that the shelter before I stayed in, that awesome shelter, was named after, I think he was the one who brought that shelter from the AT, like saved it or something like that, if I remember correctly. Our next stop, Cowans Gap State Park. I think rain is expected to come in about 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. And I know I have an option, actually I've planned to do a primitive camp with a tent, but there is the option to go 1.5 more miles to Reese Hollow Shelter. We'll see how the day goes. Looks like this first leg of the trip going into the park is going to be easy, but then we have a pretty big climb. We have like a mountain we got to go up, and then there's like a peak on top of it. I'm gonna make the best of this beautiful day here. Looks like it's going to be pretty nice. Oh, I wanted to mention that was the coolest privy so far on the trip. It had wood shavings in there where you took a scoop in. Every time you use the bathroom, you put a scoop in, and it helps compost it all naturally. It was kind of neat. You know, I think we might get closer to it, but if we don't, here we are. 1.4 miles, this trail will take you to the Standing Stone Trail. It starts in Cowans Gap State Park. Okay, here we are. So we have to cross that. Another cool sign. And this place looks familiar. Welcome to Cowans Gap State Park. I think pretty soon we're gonna have some switchbacks going up. We're gonna climb Tuscarora Mountain now. Now, as I'm leaving Cowans Gap State Park, I am possibly going to have a 14-mile water carry. I have 3 liters of water on me. So I will need water before the night's over, but I'm pretty confident that 3 liters would be good for my 14-mile trek here. The climb up was lovely with all the mountain laurel. Oh, it's beautiful. Now I'm walking through this grassy old road here. Yeah, I think I timed it pretty good. I see some of these mountain laurel aren't bloomed yet, but I bet you by next week they will be. And I'll still be out here. Just not in this state. So I just got enough reception to get a weather forecast. They have rain forecast for 4 o'clock. And 6 o'clock, there's a thunderstorm expected. So that made me want to pick up the pace a bit. And definitely aim for that shelter. I haven't been wanting to say this, but I'm just going to say it now because I already started. I've been making really good time. And this section, at least this part right here, I'm cruising, you know? But this type of terrain really helps. I'll take it right now. I moved my water bottle to the top. I felt like it was right on the back of my pack. It was pulling me back too much. And I felt the weight of it too much. So I just threw it on the top. I can hear it sloshing around. It's like I'm at sea. Hope I don't get seasick. But it seems to be a lot easier to carry. Doesn't feel like there's much weight pulling back on me. It's more centered. That was one of the harder walkaway shots I've did. Wow, look at this one. Crossing 16 was a little sketchy. They come flying up over that hill. Okay, we made it. Should be 3 miles to the shelter. It says 4 miles. Dang. It's only a mile. I don't know, I feel like it could storm at any moment here. I think we're coming up to about a half a mile to the shelter. And I'm moving slow right now. I'm pooped. But we're getting here pretty early. I'm one trekking pole down. The one thing that, oh, here comes the rain. Well, maybe I'll talk about it later. But I think I have the part to replace it. Just fell off somewhere back there and I didn't know for a while, and I said, oh, I'm one trekking pole down. So I got it strapped to the side here. Still there? Yeah. Whew. I feel like my brain's moving slow too. I kind of just been pushing through this day a little bit. A super quick lunch, if you want to call it that. An energy bar. Any minute now we'll be there. Pretty soon we'll be coming up to a trail called Alice Trail. And after that, the shelter should be around the corner. And the sooner the better, because I think at any moment now, this place might light up here. Oh man, this spring's 1 mile. It's 1 mile away. Oh, maybe just the water is 1 mile away. Oh, here comes, speaking of water, here's the rain. Okay, let's move. Man, I've never been more mad about 1 more mile than I have right now. Just straight back down. I just came straight back down. The longest mile in the world. And it was downhill. But I think it's just the end of the day blues, you know? 1 more mile. No, no thank you. But I think we might be to our destination. Oh, very nice. Oh, we have a spring over on this side too. That's really cool. Fire pit section. Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Tonight we're trying Thai curry from Good to Go. Let's see what this one is. This is a spicy yellow coconut curry with vegetables and jasmine rice. It's coming down pretty good out here now. I like this table has this grate there for you can put your stove. That's really neat. I have no reception. I can't get reception here with the phone. And satellite messenger is coming in and out like it usually does. But I'm still trying to get a weather forecast there. If I can get a message home, maybe I can get one sent back to me. So see if this rain's going to stop by morning or I'm dealing with this all day tomorrow. Either way, we got a big day tomorrow. Big day tomorrow, right outside Hancock, Maryland. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. The rain has pretty much stopped. I thought it was raining again for a while, but it's actually the stream running next to me. I think I'll hit the trail about 6:30. I'm gonna start this Ranchero Scramble. This is really good from Good to Go. Oh, it even has plantain chips to put in there to crunch. They're pretty good. Pretty big day today. Hoping the rain stays off. But I think once we get done with this section here, it's going to be pretty flat elevation the rest of the way into my section tonight. And it should put us right outside Hancock, Maryland. Okay, I made it to the top. That took me 40 minutes to get up that thing. It's over with now. I swear, it took longer last night. It felt like it up here at least. I did repair my pole last night, my trekking pole. I don't know if that's going to focus, but I'm not even going to check. You know what I'm talking about, this thing. I have one extra one. I've been carrying it in my emergency kit for a while now. I actually needed it, but I have no more, so I've got to be careful. Also, too, I'm a dope because even in my guide it says the shelter's a mile down. I probably even remember reading that, studying the trail too. And it's just hiker brain and just wanting to get to camp, seeing what I want to see. It was there in front of me, I just didn't see it. Didn't want to see it. Nice cabin though, nice cabin. Okay, I can get some reception up here. Looks like rain is supposed to be coming in about 8 o'clock, which is in about 45 minutes. And that's the only call for rain today. But it says high winds coming up. I think it's at about 1 p.m. I might be off the ridge by then. Today's not a whole lot of elevation. I'm going to be going down, and then it's going to be a lot of flat elevation. But between here and there, I don't know. This trail can give it to you. Last night it got rough. I'm so glad I had that shelter. Thunder and lightning. Winds were blowing like crazy. I heard a couple trees fall down like nearby. That would have been rough in the tent last night, man. I had to bring all the stuff I had drying out off the porch inside because the whole porch just got soaked too. Picnic table and all. With those winds coming in. But that was a nice shelter. It was nice and clean. Quiet. I didn't hear anything living in that one. That might have been my favorite one yet. Worst part is the 1 mile hike down the mountain you just hiked up. Then there's a detour at the bottom that took you by that anyway before you came up the mountain. Today, if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm dealing with a 14.5 mile water carry right now. So I'm prepared for that. I'm not too worried about it. I got water. I got a lot of snacks in my pouch here. Ready to get off this ridge. Got some sun peeking out now. Awesome. Still rocky through this section. You're just walking this ridge like a knife's edge. I just checked the forecast again, and rain's coming soon, and an expected thunderstorm. So I got everything ready. And won't be on this ridge line for a while. There's no getting around it. There are some places for cover if I need. It depends on where I'm at when I need cover, I guess. Other than that, all I can do is keep moving. Be a lot funner if it wasn't so slippery. Well, there's some nice views up here, but I am tired of being up on this ridge. Up and down over these, into the grass, back up, into the grass, back up, repeat. I feel like I'm in one of those cartoons where the background keeps repeating when they're running, like Scooby-Doo, for hours. Never looked forward to a road walk as much as I am right now, and I'm loving it. All this farmland out here, that breeze, somewhat of a blue sky, puffy clouds. I can't get a beat on the forecast down here, but it's looking good so far. So drying things off. Well, my rain jacket and rain fly for the pack was all dry, so I put that away. I got some socks drying out on the back of my pack now. Looking for a place to take a break because I could use some lunch right after the end of this section, which is just under 9 miles, just under 10 miles. About a half a mile into the next section, we'll find our camp for the night. It's a first come, first served camp, so I'm not expecting much. We'll see. I just took a nice long break on that log there, probably about a half hour. I had to walk across the stream up there, and I knew that was coming. So my feet were already wet. They've been wet since I stepped foot on the trail this morning. But there's no way across that, and I just went right across. Aired everything out there, my feet. Switched my socks, my soaked socks from going over the stream to my wet socks that I had on the back of my pack. They were just wet. They weren't dripping wet like my other ones. But I aired my feet out, put some new trail toes on, a nice thick layer of trail toes. Had some blueberry granola Mountain House. I really like that for like over 500 calories. Ooh, that's nice. Coming up here, we're about to cross the Mason-Dixon line. Welcome to Maryland. I'll hike to a different state. Here we are. It's sunny. It's a beautiful day in Maryland. Pennsylvania was rough and stormy this morning. Maryland is sunny and beautiful this afternoon. Okay, here I am on the Western Maryland Rail Trail. We're heading 0.6 miles to Licking Creek campsite. Like I said before, it's a first come, first serve. Now the road walk has been fun. I'll have to say I was looking forward to the road walk. I said that already. It was enjoyable. I moved fast on it. I like the scenery. But I am ready to get off the feet though. It's gonna be 22 miles, just over 22 miles today. And that beginning was rough and fun. Well, hello again. Just stuffing my face with a Bob's bar here. So I went to that campsite, and there was just this one kid sitting there, and I think the parent was sleeping in the tent, and he seemed real uncomfortable when I showed up. It was a real small spot, and I just kind of like, okay. And he didn't know what to do, and I was like, I'll just move on. There's another campground, little pool campground right over here. It's packed. It's Saturday night. So I was just going to go all the way to Hancock. I was like, just do it. You know, it's just a bike trail. It's just like a green, literally a green tunnel. So I'll just walk it. It's 7:40 right now, and I'll just take a whole zero tomorrow. But every hotel over there's booked. So blah blah blah. I'm sitting in a parking lot here. I found a taxi service that's going to take me, I think, about 7 miles outside of town, where I can get a Holiday Inn. I'm going to get my zero, and I'm pretty excited about that, whatever. So I'm just waiting on that now, and then I'll just have to get a ride back into town tomorrow for my zero, because I do have a hotel booked in town. Whatever, it is what it is. It's part of the adventure. It's going to be about 25 miles today, though, at least. I thought it was going to be 30, but there's no reason to walk all the way there. I'm not... walk all the way there and then get a taxi somewhere else. You know, what am I gonna do? So I stopped about 4 miles out. So I was about to book the one over here when I got a call from the support team at home, and she said, I found the cancellation in town in Hancock. You're in. So we're going to Hancock. I guess I'm taking a ride there though, because the taxi's already on its way. Hello, welcome to Hancock, Maryland. This is my zero day. Getting everything charged up. I'm moving on to my headlight now. This is the Potomac River Motel. I believe that's what it's called. I'm at. I came in on Saturday, so it was pretty busy. A lot of bikers here. So many bikers. I'm going to shortly be going over to check out the grill that's right across the parking lot. I think right across the street. Package tomorrow at the post office. Today's a Sunday, so I have to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to head out. I only have 10 miles planned to the next shelter tomorrow, so no big rush getting out of town. But I'm going to get up and get out of here early, because the forecast looks good for quite a few days here. Rain is expected to come in later, and the temperatures are supposed to go up pretty high, up in the 80s. So I'm not going to be surprised if I see a thunderstorm in the future. I'm glad I got here a day early too, because I might have to take another day. So far, I'm back on schedule, so I have that extra day back if I need to take it. A zero, that is. Let's go get something to eat. Man, that was good. Hot roast beef sandwich, green beans, cheesecake for dessert, 3 beers. Going to get the bag packed up, get ready to go in the morning, put on the TV, just sit back and relax, do some stretching before bed, and get ready for my day tomorrow. Southern half, Tuscarora Trail. Let's go. Good morning. We have a beautiful day here in Hancock, Maryland. And my zero is over. So on the route to the post office, there is a Dollar General right there I'm passing, and a Save-A-Lot food store. So you can completely resupply right here by the 2 hotels. Right up here I have a Sheetz and a Subway to choose from. peasy. Let's get this open. Going across bridges always scares me a little bit. And this is a skinny sidewalk I'm on here too. Well, that was about 4 miles of road walking there. I'm about to turn up into the woods finally. I think I had enough pavement walking for a couple of days. Let's get up over here, get some shade. I think I might take a break. Only thing I hiked out of Hancock was this cold beverage, a Celsius orange. It's got some caffeine in it and some electrolytes, and a foot-long sub for dinner tonight. My pack's pretty light. I have a 3-day carry on it basically. So I think that section there obviously was probably the easiest section. Road walking does get tedious, especially when the sun starts beating down on you. I mean, I got out of town before midday. I mean, it's not even noon yet, but it's starting to get overhead now, pretty beating down on you pretty good. I've been putting suntan lotion on every day, back of my neck and back of my hands. I did bring my hat with the brim, but it's been so windy, I haven't really wanted to wear it, so that's an option too. Yeah, successful stop. I learned from last year when I stopped at Cross Fork during my PA Wild Strip. I think I walked out of there with a 6-day carry, plus a bunch of food the neighbors gave me at Cross Fork. I was going out of town on the 7th or 8th day with all that weight on me after a 0, and it just wore me down. I learned my lesson from that. So we got kind of a light carry till we get to Gore, Virginia, where I'll be stopping at a post office midway through the day. When that day comes, I'll have to get up early. Maybe about 10 miles or so to the post office before it closes. Should be able to manage that. And that right over there is Tuscarora Mountain, where I'm at a few days ago. Oh, I forgot to say too, welcome to West Virginia. When we cross the river there, the Potomac, here we are. Beautiful day in West Virginia too. Welcome to section 12 of the Tuscarora Trail. That last one was a breeze, mostly road walking. and we're only 0.6 miles from my designated shelter for the night. So we'll talk when I get there. Let's get through this bramble mess. I'll take it. This previous got one of those Dutch doors so you can use it with a view. Just had my dinner over there. Brought my foot-long sub in from Subway this morning. I am quite full. It's just coming up almost, well, it's about 20 minutes to 7 o'clock now. Now down here earlier, I came down here to the stream we crossed. It's called Meadow Branch. There's some fun history of this area. I highly recommend getting the guide from the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. I'm on to the southern book now. I sent the northern book home this morning at the post office with the 2 maps I think I brought. So now I have 3 more to finish out. We're right near Berkeley Springs. And that's a place where George Washington used to vacation. And the book says there's a highly good chance that he has rode his horse along Meadow Branch where I was just walking earlier, and all day, all this afternoon coming here. I think that's a really neat thing to experience, just to be walking there and be like, George Washington was here. Heading up there in the morning. On the campsite over there, you can put a few tents over in that area. There's another smaller area over here. That's where I came earlier to get water. You could probably put some tents. Now this is even closer to the road. We're not very far from the road, about a half a mile. I've heard a lot of traffic going by. Some sirens too. Police or something. Well, it's an old country road. I'm sure it'll be quiet tonight. But it's not that loud, especially with Meadow Branch here roaring. Now this section I'm in right now is all private property. The only place you're allowed to camp is these designated areas right here and the shelter there. Blowing nice. It's still a little dirty from that pouring down rain. Sounds nice. That's nice to hear. These shelters are so nice here. This is all from that grant from REI. They really put some money and love into this trail. They really wanted to push it out there and make it a trail of its own. It's like, hey, check this trail out. It's awesome. We got shelters for you. I love the bear poles. That is so nice. But every shelter had its own character to it. Pretty good night's sleep there. It was a nice, quiet. With the road, you know, hear the road every now and again, but it was quiet overnight. Starting to hear it now. Nice shelter, nice area. Still a little bit of a chilly morning. This was probably the coldest morning yet. So I'm gonna wear my vest a little bit here. but I got to walk up this hill, so I'll probably take it off in 5 minutes. Got the logbook signed, swept the floor, didn't forget anything. Let's go. Tonight we're gonna do some tenting. No shelter tonight, but from what I read, it's gonna be a pretty big camping area. It's a lower campground and an upper campground. Bit of a water carry this morning. I think I might have a chance to get water in 4 miles, but I just got an extra liter on me. I think I'll probably try to make the whole 12 today with just the 2 liters I have. Then we got a little bit of a climb today. More climbs than yesterday. Hope they're as easy as they were yesterday. It was all switchbacks yesterday. Anytime it came to like any kind of somewhat serious climb, switchbacks and no rocks. Okay, the trail goes up that way. I'm off trail a little bit. There's somebody's shorts or something at this big rock overlook here. I think this might be what they call Devil's Nose. I was thinking about crawling up on that big boulder there, but I don't think I feel like it. But I think I feel like taking my pack off and having a break. Got to put on some suntan lotion. That sun's beating down now. Oh, I think we got something here. Oh. Oh. Woo! This whole canyon area here was carved out by Meadow Branch. We've just been walking up above it, up on these cliff edges here all morning. After that morning switch back up, which was pretty extensive. I mean, compared to the one I had yesterday. I think I'm gonna find some shade here and take my first break for the day. Taking a break in the shade there, so I decided to do some exploring. Now there is like a unmarked kind of trail going down this way. I'm still pretty sure this is Devil's Nose, but there's some pretty cool views over here. A lot of places to get into and explore on this section here, with the history down there at Meadow Branch and up here on these cliff edges. Here, you can keep going. Look at that. It looks like it just keeps going down. I don't think I'm going to go down any further. I don't remember a view here. Maybe if I get up on top of that, but yeah, this probably just leads all the way back down to Meadow Branch in some way or another. That'd be fun, hopping up here on the way up. Got a little climb out of here once I get the pack on. And I'm in that zone now where the next 3 days 80 degrees or more is the high. So 10:30 in the morning now. just starting to get pretty high. You know that phrase, West Virginia, almost heaven? That's why. That's a beautiful West Virginia stream there, that Meadow Branch. Big evergreen forest here in front of me. We got a climb coming. This whole section's been so lovely this whole morning with the mountain laurel, the views. Man, this is a great section. Sleepy Creek. Halfway done, 123 miles to go. Stopping here at this nice section here, nice mossy ground. I have a lunch. I'm about halfway through my day. I'm loving this liquid IV firecracker. I'm gonna use that while my water's still kind of cold. It's extra good when it's cold. Get myself some fruit, a Bob's bar. This is Bob's bar, by the way, I say that a lot. Peanut butter and chocolate. Got some fruit and a meat stick here. This has got to be the greatest display of mountain laurel I have ever seen. It's just a forest of mountain laurel. Looks like I'll tuck myself in there. Campsite number 5. I don't know if there's any more. Let's walk down this road. Oh, I was walking up the road there. A lot of decent amount of road walking today towards the end. I found a penny on the road and I said, hey, it's my lucky day. Then I got to camp and I found $1 on the ground. So it is my lucky day. Been spoiled every night with seats and picnic tables and chairs. I don't have anything tonight. Oh, we got a privy. Nice. And trash. Are you serious? Got this Vietnamese chicken noodle soup, basically. Vietnamese, right? Yeah. It's really hot. Really like that. You put the chew lime in it. It's got, you know, ginger, cilantro. Just makes your mouth water. So, I messed up my food planning the trip. Confused myself, kind of. See if I can explain this. So tomorrow, I have a 21-mile day plan. And the day after, I have a 15-mile day plan. When I planned the trip, I thought this 21-mile day coming tomorrow was going to be my post office stop. Halfway through. It's not. It's the day after tomorrow, the 15-mile day. So what I did was I'm trying to be as precise as possible with my rationing of food. So since tomorrow I thought I only had half a day's carry until I got a full resupply, I only packed half a day's worth of food. But I managed. What I did do the other day yesterday, or was that this morning? yesterday whenever I sent some stuff back home, but I did keep one of my meals, the chicken ramen meal that I made, my homemade dehydrated vegetables. I kept that, so that's a lot of calories right there. Plus, I've kind of been stockpiling food. I didn't really, like yesterday, I didn't eat a lot of my food. I had that breakfast sandwich at Subway before I left town, then I had that foot-long sub. I was kind of just full of bread. I ate practically a whole pizza the day before. I saved a lot of snacks. What I was mostly worried about was, am I gonna have coffee? Am I gonna have coffee for, not tomorrow morning, but the morning after? Yeah, I do. Plus have some caffeine drink. I think it's gonna work. Gotta keep things exciting, right? So I'm gonna pack this in tonight. And I got a little bag of Fritos for a snack, and I'm gonna call it early. I'm gonna have to hang my food bag tonight. I haven't had to do that in a while. I don't know if I remember how. Good morning from Upper Campground. I'm just leaving now. It's 4:30 a.m. I got a mile road walk here. I think it's a road walk on this road I walked in on. So I'll see you in a little bit here. Hey, bear. That's why I don't like hiking at night. There was something over there. Been a heck of a lot of deer in this section. A lot of deer. Good morning again. Got to watch the forest light up with walking through all this mountain laurel again this morning. It's neat how they light up first. You just go through, you just see all these clouds of white in the darkness. We're making good time so far. We're about finishing up section 12. We're on section 12. Soon to start section 13. I'm at this abandoned fire tower now, and there's like nothing stopping anybody from climbing up this ladder. I'm not gonna do it. Not this guy. I think this is the highest point of the day I'm gonna have. I think it's mostly downhill from here, some level, and I think we'll do a little bit of climbing up to the shelter, but not this much. I've been climbing for a few hours now, just gradually. I can just, you feel the humidity in the air this morning. It doesn't feel so much like that anymore. About a mile down the trail, I'm gonna stop and get some water. Apparently, there's some views up here. Let's go up here and check it out. To watch out for rattlesnakes up here. Grown in. This must be that Knife's Edge overlook. Whew. This might be as far as I want to go. Look at that. Now the trail today has been wet. It's been real sloshy. I had to like avoid a lot of areas like this. This is kind of a small one, and a lot of it's hidden under this green. There's some bigger sections earlier where it's just like you're just playing hopscotch over the puddles. But ever since that climb to the fire tower, it's just been cruising. Other than avoiding the wet spots as much as I can, it's easy traveling. Welcome to Shockey Top Shelter. I think I'm gonna take a break, get out of that midday sun. This is kind of neat, it has a loft. That's kind of cool. Love these shelters. Ooh, sunscreen. Anyway, I want to sit down and take a load off. Welcome to Virginia, my third state on this tour. I think we might bounce back into West Virginia again though. Anyways, going pretty well. It's nice to have this tree cover here. Get out of the sun a bit and still moving along. It's been kind of rocky. Not Pennsylvania rocky, but mainly downhill for a bit now. So I'm guessing those are locusts. Every once in a while I'll see one of those little shells of them on the ground. I started seeing them yesterday at the campground. I'm pretty sure that's a locust, I think. Something like that. But yeah, they're really making some noise here in the forest. Got some water there, and I dipped this coldy rag, I think that's what it's called, in that cold water because I was really starting to heat up, man. I just felt how hot I was. It does cool you down really nice when it's wet there. It felt good. We'll keep it on until it dries out a bit. Got a liter of water. We're just about to finish up section 13, and we're only going about 3.5 miles or so, 3 miles or so into section 14. At least I had, a good 10 miles without that sun beating on me. Rattlesnake back here on the trail. Gave me a little startle. Rattled at me. I didn't give him the rattle on the camera. Of course, I don't want to get close enough. But here's a light rattle too. Definitely got my attention. Had a long road walk, still on a road. I'm gonna walk this road for a while, all the way to the shelter just about. 0.2 miles off the road is where the shelter's gonna be. This is my most least favorite part of the trail so far. Howard's Chapel Road. I've been on this for 2 miles, almost coming to the end. Cars come flying by and there's like almost no place to stand around these turns. I'm almost done with it now though. And my left knee's acting up. Hasn't felt like this in over a week. Well, I don't know when that stopped. Remember that? One shelter, I took that day off. I think these downhills on this pavement. I've been really pounding the miles today too. I probably should have took more breaks. I don't know. I'm moving along pretty good though. Coming up on the end of this section now. Hopefully off this road. Okay, welcome to section 14 and a little bit of a detour. That sign back there is actually the same thing that's written in my guide. So this guide that I bought must have been published after they rerouted this here. So what that say, 0.6 miles up here, we're gonna take a left. Okay, I decided to play it smart and I grabbed some water off the bottom here. I'm on Adams Road, at the very bottom of it, I assume. About halfway to the shelter, I think. Oh, I was spent last night. That heat just drained me. I didn't want to do anything. It took me a couple hours to like start to feel normal again. Another nice shelter. That one had a bit of a bee problem though. You can tell by all the wasp and hornet spray they had there. And there were definitely bees bothering me and dive bombing me when I was trying to relax there. So I actually spent a lot of time on the picnic tables out there. It was warm all night. I didn't even need my sleeping bag till maybe like, I don't know, 3 in the morning maybe. Woke up a little cold. But pretty neat though. They had that checkerboard carved out of a tree and all those chairs carved out of trees. Oh, it's gonna be another hot one today. Heading to the post office in Gore, Virginia. We have a big elevation gain later after the post office and heading up to the pinnacle. And the only water up there is coming from a spring. So I might be taking water up there just in case too. Okay, 7.7 miles to the post office. Let's start this morning proper without getting cooked on the road. That feels good right now. Nice cool morning. Yeah, the road walking's got to me. These last few sections, it's a lot of road. It's a lot of road. Kind of beats you up in its own way. Coming up on 3 miles of road walking already. At least the weather's nice now, nice cool air still. Not my favorite part of the trail right here, all these roads. You do make good time. I'd advise staying out of the sun while doing it though. I didn't get sunburnt yesterday. That's good. I've been putting the suntan lotion on every day. I was worried I should have put it on twice yesterday. I got pretty red, but I'm not burnt. I should put it on twice. I shouldn't chance that again. It's gonna be just as hot today. Okay. Crossing a divided highway here. We're supposed to stay on 600. Cross some railroad tracks up here. Welcome to Gainesboro Road. This is a historic road. In 1755, during the French Indian War, General Braddock of the British marched here and was defeated by the French and Indians. Woo, warmed up quick though. Looks like I'm gonna be taking a road all the way to the post office. I figured I'd get the hat out today. I didn't quite get sunburnt yesterday, but it is tender. Put some suntan lotion on the back of my neck. That's what I'm talking about. That's the part that's kind of the reddest. And then I got my hat on now. It's just coming up behind me this whole way, so gotta make sure I last through this trip. I don't want the sun to be the one to end it for me. So this is that section where they're having trouble just getting the trail going into the woods. That's why it's on all these road walks. I don't know how long it'll be like this, but according to the sign, they're looking for other ways to get around all this road walking. After crossing that bridge back there, the trail is actually going to go over that way. You can see the sign from here. But I'm going to keep going up here to Gore, Virginia, pick up package at the post office. Made such a good time, the post office isn't even open yet. Gotta wait a few minutes. So we are fully loaded from the post office. Successful drop off. And I've decided to continue into Gore, Virginia, instead of backtracking. Now up here shortly I'll be getting to a grocery store. And after that there's the Gore Connector Trail, which is going to take me over to the Tuscarora Trail. That'll keep me from walking across that back creek back there. Now this is what's suggested if the water's too high to come up the Gore and take the connector trail. I don't know if the water's very high, but I don't like to backtrack and I don't like to get wet. And I like grocery stores. Sounds like a win-win-win. Of course I can jump right off that highway there and get onto this back road, Gore Road, going into Gore. And there are white blazes along this road, right along Gore Road here, direct you right to the access trail. Oh, I'm so glad I came to the grocery store. Hot food, creamsicles, chocolate milk, country ham sandwich. I even snagged a little beer for tonight. Why not? I don't see why I'm missing that much. Cutting off there at Back Creek. I'd rather come here and get a post office stop, get a hot bite to eat, and take this Gore Connector Trail. I'll miss 1.3 miles of that section, but I don't think it's going to be much. Right now we're about 700 feet. We're going to climb up to 2,800 feet over the next 7 miles. So, and this whole section is going to be in backcountry. Welcome to section 15. Water up here is flowing pretty good everywhere I look. I think the spring is going to be good. Going through these boulder fields now. Pretty soon we're going to be coming up onto a side trail. And that's going to be my designated area for a short break. It's a hot one again today. This has been a long, rocky climb. It's just getting rockier and rockier as we get up closer here, I think. Slow moving. Used to the fast road pace, you know, but it should still be an early day camp. I just passed some water just a minute ago. That was flowing pretty good. Have to constantly watch where you're going here. Was following the road for a little while, but that's gone now. All trail now. I mean, it wasn't on the road, but it was kind of next to me. ATV trail, I mean, is what it was. ATV road. Okay, this wilderness trail behind me, that's going to lead to a parking area. It's going to go up, from all as I can read. 1.3 miles to our shelter. We're going to cross Laurel Run, in 1 mile, so I'm going to keep going by that. I'm going to go for that spring. Worst case scenario, I'll take the 1/3 mile back to Laurel Run and get water later. Mount Laurel starting to pop up here. The rocks are starting to dissipate a little bit. Shouldn't say that though, they're probably going to come back. Slow moving. Up this is like a little over 2,000 feet we're going up. We're getting there though. Boy, the Mount Laurel, beautiful up here, man. They're all opened up, bloomed. That's funny, I get to the bottom of this climb, like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna be up there soon. Nah. That was a big climb, man. That might have been the biggest, no, I think the last day is gonna be the biggest climb. That's gonna go to 3,000, I think. Oh, the water's right here. It's right next to me. Thirsty, anyone? I am. It is definitely one of the biggest climbs of the trail. Hello? What are you here? Ooh, look at that shade. $19.90. Well, after taking a short break, I decided to push the extra half mile up a steep climb. Welcome to the Pinnacle Overlook. Should have brought some eggs to fry on that rock. Ooh, that was like walking into an oven. Now, in 1/10 of a mile is the Pinnacle campsite. I figured I was gonna hit this early in the morning and it might be dark. So I'd want to come up and see the view. That way get my climb over with. And that was steep. That was steep, that last half mile. I have yet to have a primitive style camp on this trip. Everything's been by shelter so far. Looks nice. We got some beer cans up here. Wish they were full beer cans. It'll work. We got views up here too. Let's find that spring. Why, hello there. I could not find the spring, and I started walking off into the woods, and I turned around and looked. I had a compass with me and stuff, but I was like, this is how people get lost. Because I'm out here by myself, and I didn't want to just screw up and get lost, right? I went all the way back down, past the shelter to where the last time I saw water. And no, I wasn't happy about it, no. All in all, it took me about 35 minutes. Looking back, it was like, it's only 35 minutes, but I did not want to do it. I did not want to hike all the way down there and then hike all the way back up with 5 liters of water, but I did. I unpacked everything here, and I just took my pack down, and I just took care of it there. I drank a whole liter of water there and sat down for a couple minutes and decompressed. And then I hiked back up, say a few things that you shouldn't say, and I got here and decompressed some more. Hey look, pro tip I just came up with. I always trip on my stakes when I put them out like that. I don't pound them in all the way because they don't need to be pounded in all the way. Put my hiking pole there for me to see. Hopefully that stops me from tripping over them when I'm walking around. And that is my pro tip of the day. Not a bad place for a dinner. I thought I had 20 miles planned tomorrow, but I don't. What did that sign say? 17.6? That's kind of cool. I'll round that down to 17 and say I have a 17-mile day. Okay, and we're off. I got 4 liters of water on me for today. And that was a nice, lovely camp. But my days of the good weather might be coming to an end. That possible shower that was going to happen today is turning into a more possible thunderstorm at 3 p.m. 55% chance. We want to take Friar Path, take a left out of our camp. So today we're about to finish up section 15. We're going to 16 and then camp in 17. It's going to be a lot of ridgeline walking, I believe. And that is why I'm carrying 4 liters of water on me, because I don't know if I'm going to find water. So maybe that rain will be a good thing later. So I spent some time this morning making sure my pack was packed efficiently with all the weight I have, distributing the weight properly. I have my 3 liters of water right along the spine of my back. My batteries are down next to that towards the bottom, the very bottom of my pack. That's my sleeping quilt, sleeping pad, dry clothes. Above that, the heavy stuff starts. All that fluffy stuff doesn't even take up a quarter of the pack though. So I got that feeling as good as I can. Still heavy. Mixed up a caffeinated drink with my first liter of water. And so far, so good. 10 minutes out. Okay, we're about to cross over into section 16 and West Virginia. This section here is going to walk the border between Virginia and West Virginia. We're mostly going to be on West Virginia through this section here, walking the ridgeline. Keep telling myself to stop and take a break because it's so humid out, just dripping. So I'll wait till I find a nice rock to sit on, cool off a bit as much as I can, stop sweating buckets, and I'll continue on. Other than the humidity, this section's pretty nice so far. So we're walking along the ridge of the West Virginia border. Those last views I saw back there were Virginia. Now I'm looking west. Over there is West Virginia. Getting a little more hazy since I saw that last view, at least on this side. Okay, but that was the best view. The sun came out for me there. So, I have to admit, I made a mistake back there. I was taking a break this morning because, you know, the humidity kept just beating on me. So I was taking breaks. One of my breaks, I took a break. I got up and I started walking the wrong way. Sounds funny now. It wasn't funny then when I found out. See, I'm walking this ridge line. I got views over here, I got views over there. Turn around and go the other way. Kind of looks the same. I videoed it where I was sitting on that rock. The trail was like turning too. It was like this, like a 90-degree turn in the trail. It's thick through there. I mean, it's marked well. I mean, the trail's been marked well, but don't pay attention. Slapped on an audiobook and just started walking along. Next thing I know, I got to the sign that says Pinnacle Campground, 2.2 miles. It was 3 hours ago. I lost 3 hours on that. But you know what? I would have got here when it was raining, those clouds are over. I wouldn't have saw that view. I remember coming back, it was thundering. It rained most of the time, that's why I have my rain fly on here, on my pack. I was like, well, I'll catch up with the video when I get caught up because I was just too upset. When I got here, blue sky. It would have been a blue sky if I would have not messed up. It's kind of neat how things work out though. It's only 3 hours. But it really makes me think how things work, you know? I'm glad I can laugh about it now because I was no mood to laugh. Nah. Welcome to section 17 in George Washington and Jefferson National Forest. From what I can tell about this section here, or at least this leg I'm doing, 7 miles to the shelter, which is going to be all up. There he is. There he is. Woo! Dang, dude, he's a big boy. The other day when I saw a rattlesnake, I was doing the same thing. I stop like this, I get my book out and I'm looking at it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And I take one step. Ah! I gotta stop looking at the guidebook maybe. That'll wake you up. Take your mind off the miles. Take your mind off the heat. Take your mind off the climb. Off the rocks. Off the fact that I don't know where I'm going to get water. It sure is pretty through here though. Okay, we just crossed Route 48. Ooh, got some apples. What we got here? We got a bench. Some things to look at. And if there's any water. Well, there's no water cache here, but this board here gave me high hopes that they say on here twice about 0.4 miles down a steep hill to get water to spring from the shelter. So, I mean, it is what it is. I can't just like make water out of nothing. Gotta deal with what I have. We'll find some more. Okay, 4 miles up. Let's go. Really overgrown up here at the top. Yeah, if you want to hike this trail, don't try to be cute and do it in shorts. You're not gonna enjoy yourself. Long pants. These gaiters are great for this. I'm too tired to look. Is it a nice view? Okay, I had to charge the phone up a little bit there. That's a little bit of my water. Of course, up this high, where the power line's behind me, I got reception and severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:15. It's 4:40 right now. So I'm pretty sure, from my calculations, the shelter is all downhill from those power lines. 2 miles. Challenge accepted. Let's go. I'll take the rain and just collect that instead of going to the spring. Let's get to the shelter first. That was not the end of the climbing. I've been climbing for a while still. So much for being easy. This day's really trying to get the best of me. We're fine. Some wind. Oh man, that looks ugly. There's the rain. See if I can kick it into high gear. Oh boy. Where you at? Oh, these are all thorns. These are all thorns. Oh man, these are all thorns. Oh. Woo-hoo. I see the roof. I see the sign. Whoa. Man, I've had it with that day. Woo! I'll see you later. I'm gonna go die. Well, good morning. Rained pretty good all night. Feeling much better today. Getting the trail toes on the feet because I'm going to be walking through some wet grass probably all day, at least on this hillside. Mentally preparing myself for today too, because there's 3 times today where I'm going to be going over 3,000 feet. So yeah, it's elevation day again. The whole time I'm going to be in George Washington Jefferson National Forest. I'll be able to camp anywhere. I do have a primitive camp plan tonight for my last night on the trail before I hit town. Got my wet socks on from yesterday because I'm not going to get another pair wet. I will save them for later. Hopefully the forecast is right and this rain will stop and I'll be able to dry some things out later. And the spring is down this way. One good thing about yesterday is all the rain came in and I didn't have to walk the 0.6 miles to the spring, and it says it's really steep. You know, out of all the shelters I stayed at, seems like the one that's most out there. You can tell it looks old. It needs updated. It needs trimmed. I mean, I don't blame people for not wanting to walk all the way up here. But it was nice and quiet. The most quiet shelter I had. This section I'm going on today is going to be plentiful with water, so I'm not carrying any more water. I have 1 liter on me. I'll be coming across the water in about 4 miles. Yes, these are all thorns. Yes, this is the trail. This is definitely the most wild section of the trail yet. Even that one back in Pennsylvania, that was pretty wild. Well, this had another week or so to grow. It's rocky here, but not as rocky. They're hidden in there. They're hidden in all the tall grass and the weeds. I'm gonna have the occasional little uphill here, but for the most part, we're making our way down. Now we're gonna cross this bridge here over Waits Run. That is the water that should be avoided because it's downstream from a cow pasture. But coming up here soon, we're gonna be crossing a stream. I think it's called Pond Stream. We're gonna cross that 8 times. I'm not worried about water today. Now we're about to start section 18, Sugar Knob. This guy just what I was hoping for. It's very scenic coming up here along this stream. And going up all these slippery rocks is a lot better than coming down them. You have more control, you know? And it's nice to have beautiful scenery and the sound of that stream next to me. Did not like that section yesterday. Whenever I crossed, what, 55 or 48, or both, whatever it was. Did not enjoy that section. This is very much more enjoyable. Okay, there's my 8th and final crossing of that stream. I'm gonna check the guide here and see if I want to get water here. I think I might. Might as well just keep hydrated. We are now up on an old road here in a boggy area. I had some nice sunlight coming through the trees there, so I took another break with my shoes off. I'm not too worried about pace today. I just want to have a good time. So they got these built here. These are called punchin', if I'm saying that right, to get over this boggy area. Very nice. A little slippery, but I'll take it. Welcome to 3,120 feet. And it's turned into a beautiful day, man. This is an intersection here with Mill Mountain Trail. That's gonna lead to a recreational area like 6 miles that way. Tusky's gonna turn left here. That's where we're headed. I just ran into another hiker. He wasn't a through hiker though, he's just out for a couple nights. I said, man, I haven't seen somebody in like a week. Yeah, had a chat with him. He said, you get reception at the top of the hill, which I have a little bit of reception now. And the trail's pretty comfortable, but I don't think he's doing all the Tusky. He's doing some kind of loop up here. There's a lot of trails up here. I think I took a video of that map down there. It's a nice little trail system. Yeah, what a day. So I got to the spring here. Nice cold water there. Right here we are about just over 4 miles from my camp, my proposed camp. The weather's been nice. The trail has been kind, much kinder than it was yesterday. Got an audiobook on, just having a good time. My audiobook of choice on this trail was The Stand, suggested to me by my lovely wife, who is the biggest Stephen King fan in the world, probably. Yeah, 47 hours, and it's fun. Oh great, we're coming up to one of these maps again. This is a great area. Beautiful day out here too. That helps, but that looked like a fun area to explore. So that's where I started this morning. And we came around all this. And we're about to cross this yellow road here. And we are heading to Ridgecrest View to find a camp. There's supposed to be a few campsites available up there. So we're gonna have a primitive camp tonight. We might have a little bit of rain, either late tonight or in the morning. Last I checked, I haven't had service for most of the day today. We'll see. Once I cross the road here and go up the other side, we'll see if anything better happens there. But that's fine, I got the satellite. And then tomorrow, we'll be heading to town. So I was coming up this hill, and I'm thinking, this might be some of the last water I get. So I'm not gonna take my chances and go ahead and get water out of this. It's running, it's moving. I'll just have to find a way to gather it easy, because I can't find my scoop. I'd used my red cup that last time, but I'll figure it out. Okay, it took a little bit of time, but it was therapeutic in its own way. It really cooled me off because I was trucking up this hill just because I had momentum and I just kept going. And I was like, wait, I think that's the last spring. Now, I'm gonna laugh if there's like a perfectly running thing up here that I could have filled up in 10 seconds. Oh no, here's the real spring. That would have been easier, but like I said, that was a nice break. Would have been much easier. Well, I know for next time. Well, made it up on the ridge line. There's like a whole Boy Scout troop up here. They got, looks like the nice area over there taken. It's real grassy up here. This is the less grassy spot I see. I'm gonna go and get my tent down here, and right up here I can walk into this view. It's overlooking Shenandoah and Woodstock. Okay, so the Ridgeline camp is set up. I've just been chilling in the tent with the massage ball. And here's my setup. I got the tarp up tonight because we are expecting rain. I want to have a place to get ready in the morning. Heading into Woodstock tomorrow, but I still want to be as dry and efficient as I can. We got a nice view of Woodstock over there. We got some tall grass to walk through. Here we go. Oh, look at the moon up there. Woodstock is over in there. That's where I'll be heading tomorrow. Well, good morning. A little different view from last night. It's getting a little hazy out there now. It rained pretty good last night. I had a break in the rain this morning to pack some stuff up, so that worked out nice. We're still under a flood watch, and there's possible thunderstorms coming in at 9 o'clock. So I'm all ready for the wet weather, and I'm ready to head to Woodstock. Right down there. That Boy Scout group was down the trail here a little bit. I'll show you where they were. I tried to sleep in today because I can't check into the hotel till 4 o'clock. But I can only sleep in so much. I want to get moving. Okay, yeah, right down for me. This is where they all were. Not very flat here, but it's a cool hangout spot. These cliffs. Not flat at all, actually. Yeah, there was like tent city in here. Another fire pit up here. Okay, it looks like the rain has begun. I haven't mentioned yet about how easy the trail is to follow. It's marked very well. I love the color of the blazes. This used to be the Big Blue Trail. Okay, leaving the National Forest. And what's the other side of the sign say? Ridgecrest View is 2.9 miles. We've done 3 miles. And I think we're gonna hit a road, and that'll be the end of this section. And then shortly after that, I think 3 miles into the next section is where the detour will begin. It's a pretty simple detour, and I've been studying it for months. Studied it all last night, so I know it all by heart, so it's not that difficult, really. Okay, welcome to section 19. and Zepp Road. Which way are we going? We're going up or down? I think we're going down. Yeah, there's a blue marker. So I just crossed that road. We came out of there. There's another map of the area. We're walking behind this big house here, looking for another blaze. Yep, there we are. All right, so here we are at Swartz Road. We're staying right on Swartz Road. That's going to lead us right into the town of Woodstock, where we will get a shower, we will do laundry, and we will feast. Now, I believe the original route is going to have us turn left right there on Harrisville Road, but no more. We continue straight ahead on Swartz Road. I didn't see any kind of sign or marker that indicated it used to go that way. Well, welcome to Woodstock. Here we are. Now, it's only about 1:30, and I want to stop and get something to eat. Right now, we got in the directions Woodstock Brew House. So I'm gonna stop there and wait out until I can get into the hotel. Just so you know, the Woodstock Brewery is hiker trash friendly. They welcome me with open arms. Let me take my backpack in and take my money and serve me delicious food. So now I got about a 35-40 minute walk to the hotel. My room should be ready for me. Does that feel good to see? You know how many times I walk this on Google Maps, the street view, to see which way I go? Here we are. Best shower of my life. Best shower of my life. And here I got everything laid out. Getting everything dried off. As orderly as I can. That's all my food I gotta sort. My food situation's out of control. Over here. Yeah, let it dry out for a bit and I'll get it back together. All right, I'm hungry again. I'm gonna go grab a salad. I'm in the mood for a salad. Okay, I got some groceries from the food line over there. I'm gonna walk right by this ice cream scoop shop here. I think I could manage holding an ice cream cone and these groceries as I walk back to the hotel. Let's find out. Good morning from Woodstock, Virginia. There it is, the final map. This day at Woodstock has been outstanding. A nice little town. There's another hotel across the street too, so you get everything you need right here. Okay, here we go. It's about 5:30 a.m. and we're heading back out here to Fairground Road. I'm gonna take it's kind of the road behind the main street. To get off the main street, we'll take the back road here to Mill Road. I see up ahead of me there. I can see the ridge line we're going for right in front of us. There it is. This whole trip, the 2 times I'm in town, whenever a police car passes me, I just automatically think of Rambo. We want no drifters in this town, son. So we're coming up on Mill Road. Mill Road is what you're gonna be looking for the detour. And I just walked out of Woodstock there, I don't know, 3-4 miles. Mill Road's gonna be right next to this plaza here. There's a Dollar General. Looks like some places to eat. Might be a quick resupply with that Dollar General right there if you just want to skip going all the way into town. And the Woodstock Tower there, that's what we're looking for. That's where we're headed. Right now, we're probably only a few blocks away from Schwartz Road, what we came in on. Okay, Woodstock Tower Road, here we are. And all the way up there from up at Woodstock, they even have signs directing you to Woodstock Tower, so pretty easy to follow. Okay, here we are crossing the North Fork of the Shenandoah River. See our ridgeline's getting closer and closer now. Welcome to the Massanutten Trail, right off of Fire Tower Road. Walk wasn't that bad. Took me 2.5 hours. I left the hotel 2.5 hours ago. And here we are at the top. Not quite the top. I'm not sure how far Fire Tower Road goes, but it's a winding road all the way up here. I think it's about 5 miles up till we hit Tuscarora Trail. All right, off we go. Let's do some trail. So I think from this point here, it's 8 or 9 miles before I can come across any water. And I knew that when I left the hotel this morning. I left with 2 liters, figured that would hold me over. Drank about half a liter coming here. And I did stop. Oh, there's a piece of trash back there I wanted to pick up. It wasn't mine, but keep the trail happy. I meant to pick that up when I was filming that last walkaway shot. Not mine. It's mine now, though. It's my responsibility. But I left with 2 liters. Drank half a liter, but I did stop at a gas station. Walking out of Hancock, grabbed a package of Fig Newtons and a Gatorade. And some other things I picked up before I left town were I got some more sunscreen because I've been going through that pretty good. I did not want to run out of that, and I've been doing good, not getting burnt. I got some bug spray because I had to, like, enough of this because my legs are just chewed up, my ankles. And so I grabbed some of that cortisone cream, one of my legs the last couple of nights, just to soothe that. I calculated about 12 miles to the camp. Yeah, we just knocked off, what heck? That was about 5 miles there, was it? I'm not sure. I mean, it was all road, but I had this planned out to be an 18-mile day. We're heading to Elizabeth Furnace Campground. That was a fairly easy 5-mile walk. There wasn't much to see, had that one view, and then you're kind of just walking over on the edge of the ridge line, not on it, but to the side of it, surrounded by trees. Oops. I find the markings for that trail interesting. It's like one dot in a line. At first I thought it was not a mistake, but just, you know, sloppy trail marking, but everyone's one dot in a line. I wonder why. And here we are. There's the sky blue Tuscarora Trail. 30 miles to the Appalachian Trail. That's really cool to see. Yeah, this whole section behind me here is the Dull Ridge section that is closed down. They lost the rights to use that because of ownership there. I think I'm gonna take a break here, see some rocks to sit on, and a shady spot. So after looking at the guide and the map for a little bit there during my break, I think I decided I'm not going to go to Elizabeth Furnace Campground. Not because it's a half a mile off the trail and it seems to be close to a road. It says 30 campsites, bathroom facilities, and this. I don't think it's going to be crowded probably on a Tuesday. You never know. But I think I'll just stay up here on my trail. I think I'm going to come across a primitive campsite that I might have to take water to, whatever. So I think I might choose to do that and see how it looks. And I think anywhere in the national forest here we can camp unless stated otherwise. So if I find a good spot somewhere, I'll double check to make sure it's legal and I can stay wherever. Section's actually growing in pretty good, but it's got enough to do to keep you occupied. It's kind of fun, you know. A little bit of a view through the trees there. Thorns, thorns, thorns. Okay, looks like we're about to link up again with the Massanutten Trail. I see a bench with my name on it. And here's some water. That sounds cold and delicious. So after this stream, which is called Little Passage Run, right off the Massanutten Trail, it's about 2 miles to that proposed campsite. So I'm gonna check it out. I have enough water for the night. See if I want to stay there or if I want to press on to somewhere else. I'm hoping it looks good. Like I said before, I kind of just want to be out here alone right now. But who knows what the day's gonna bring. It's still somewhat early, so I have decisions. Starting to get some nice ridgeline views as I continue on looking for a campsite off to my left here. So I figure I'd bring you along for the ride here. According to my calculations, we should be about 1/10 of a mile away from the proposed campsite stated in the guide. The spot used to be an old Collier's charcoal pit making charcoal. I got me a mosquito fire here. I got some extra leaves on it to bring that smoke in. With my off spray I got, I'm sitting pretty comfortable right now. Good morning. Been kind of a bittersweet morning. This is the last full day I'll be on the trail. Tomorrow, I'll be leaving. Yeah, I wanted to stretch out these last sections, especially due to the last section, section 22, which is supposed to be the most demanding. It's the highest elevation gain I'm going to get. I kind of just wanted to stretch out these last 3 days, not push it, you know, have some fun filming and things. And yeah. Most I ever slept in on the trail this whole trip. So probably gonna leave camp about 9 o'clock now. I only have about 10 miles planned, maybe a little more. We'll be passing Elizabeth Furnace picnic area down here. It'll be about a half a mile away, but That was another option to go camping, but I kind of wanted to get a little wild here, so this is really nice. Trip went by really fast. It really did. I can't explain what it does in your head. Wow, it's already over. Okay, let's get a move on. Just a few minutes ago, and a guy and his dog came running by here. So this must be somewhat popular day hike area I'm on. Yeah, I thought it was funny right when I got to camp last night. Saw this little spring running. It's probably just a wet weather spring, but how convenient that would have been if I would have known. I wouldn't count on that being there at that campsite. Pretty soon we're going to be coming up to 678 in the end of this section here, about 2 miles left of it. And we're going to be climbing up Massanutten Mountain. And at the bottom of that, we're going to come to Little Creek Shelter, I believe. And I want to spend my last night on the Tuscarora Trail in one of their PATC shelters. From them we'll have 14 miles out with a pretty significant climb. The guide said it's a demanding section, so I figure splitting it up, have more fun. It kind of worked out with the timeline with the pickup too and everything, so make the best of this beautiful weather. So right past that stream and the Sidewinder Trail, this camp was nicer than mine. Get off my camera. The bugs are coming out. But yeah, this is a nice camp. Man, I picked these up at the Food Lion. 30 grams of protein, 380 calories. I had one yesterday. This is the chocolate chip cookie dough. Really good. I'm gonna have one right now. And yet another nice campsite here by the stream down here. Looks pretty used, but looks pretty nice too. A lot more camps around than I thought there would be. Just coming to the end of section 20, and I see my next section right in front of me. Massanutten Mountain. Now this must be the Elizabeth Furnace picnic area. This is not the camping area. Toilets, I assume. I'm gonna check this water. No water. Well, anyway, welcome to section 21. So this here is the remains of Elizabeth Furnace. Iron smelting furnace, I believe. This is neat. Yeah, the guide said this is the most historical section. Yeah, all these voices and cars I see around here, quite possibly they all camped here last night too. So I think I made a good decision. I wanted to keep it quiet. Okay, that was my last stream crossing for maybe another 4 miles or so. So I took a nice little break there, filled up with water. Just taking a liter with me. I like going light and fast. Well, as light as I can at least. Now we're gonna start making a climb up to Massanutten Mountain. Well, that's some big switchbacks all the way up. We're about to the top now. A lot of stone stairs. And a few boulder fields to go over. All in all, one of those uphills that's, you know, kind of fun. I did take a few breaks on it when I found some shade. That's something to see. I started the trail, the Mount Laurel. Most of them were buds. And then I saw them just open up and just flourish everywhere. Now as I'm walking through, I see their petals on the ground. Got to a big intersection here. couple trails that lead down to some parking lots. This Buzzard Rock, I think, leads out to a view and into a parking lot. Tuscarora Trail is going to take a right. Okay, well, there was a little bit further to the top of the ridgeline. It was equally as fun. Now we're at the top of the ridgeline. And I got views to my left and right through the trees. Wintertime would be big time views up here. This is looking east. I know eventually we're going to be able to see the Shenandoah River from up here. I don't think I can see it from this point. So we just passed under the peak of Little Crest Mountain. And then we came back up on the ridgeline here. And I think this is where we're going to start seeing some views. Oh boy, it's nice up here though. Snagging some good views here to my left now through the trees. Starting to descend. I'm actually on a switchback right now. There's the Shenandoah there. Nice little camp here with a prehistoric bench. Nice tent area. Now I thought we might be getting close to a stream coming up from the other side here. But I tell you what, it doesn't look like there's any kind of stream around here. Maybe I'm not where I think I am. Oh, another campsite right here. Oh, it's a nice view. Go this way. Shenandoah Valley. Saw quite a few campsites since this morning and now, just random campsites like that throughout. So there is options to go past Elizabeth Furnace and find some camps. Now they're going to be dry, but there's options. Well, I was a little ahead of myself. We aren't exactly descending yet, even though we're starting to. We're still up on the ridgeline, and we came across a great view here. This is looking into the South Fork of the Shenandoah River. And right there, what we're looking at is called the Point. Archaeologists found that there were Native Americans living there 12,000 years ago. Stone tools and weapons. I believe it's called the Clovis Point period, where humans were starting to use tools and making tools out of things. Right down there, 12,000 years ago, humans were surviving. Right over here, if we move over here on the rock, we can look kind of the end of the trail. Looking that way, that is towards Matthews Arm, which is one of the last stops before the end of the Tuscarora Trail, meaning a camping area. Now we started making our way down. Okay, been making good time. A lot further along than I thought. 1/10 of a mile to the shelter. This right here is Mill Run we're going to cross. And there should be a spring by the shelter. And here we are. My final night on the Tuscarora Trail. The Little Creek Shelter. Oh man. Like I said, bittersweet day. Look at this setup, wow. Bunk beds in here too. Wow, neat. So I've talked about all the stretching I've been doing, so I figured since it's the last night here in my last shelter, let me show you what I've been doing. Now remember, I'm no doctor, but this is what I've learned the last 5 weeks. I find a platform like that, keep my legs straight, and I just wait till I feel this stretch. Hold that for 30 seconds, each leg, 3 times. Then I find a nice rock to stretch my calf muscle that's angled up pretty high. I lean my foot into it, keep my legs straight, hips out, until I feel my calf muscle stretch. Same thing, 30 seconds each side, 3 times. And the third one, I hold my leg with my arm, hips out, stretch, and you feel the pull right here in your leg. 30 seconds each leg, 3 times. And the last one involves a belt or a rope. You make a loop out of it. And I've only done this at night when I have a shelter. A couple times when I had a nice flat spot, I did it with my sit pad. But this one, it feels really good with the IT band. Loop this around your ankle, other leg flat, hold it out straight, and you pull to the side. Oh, that's the one that feels good. Right here, you feel just like all the rest. 30 seconds, 3 times on each leg. Well, like I said, I'm no doctor. That's just the stretches I've learned over the last 5 weeks. On top of that, there was many exercises I did twice a day. So I really worked hard at it. It really paid off because I'm about to complete this 250-mile trail. And I can't believe how fast it went. I'm glad I stretched this out because that was a heck of a climb. The next climb is going to be even bigger than that, so I'm going to give that a whole day. We're getting up early tomorrow. My goal is to get out by 2 p.m. So 14 miles, but it's a huge uphill. It's like all uphill. Well, good morning. Welcome to my last day on the Tuscarora Trail. It's now 5 a.m. and we're about to make a 14-mile run. Now we have a little climb to do, and then we're gonna have some road walking for a little bit, so I'm hoping to catch up a lot of time on that. And then we're gonna have a 3,400-foot climb to end the trail. Set the alarm for about 3:45 this morning. Just took my time, got the logbook signed in there, everything packed up, as slim as late as I can go. We got a 7-mile run before my next water source, so I got 2 liters here on me. Hey, I wanted to say the privy was nice for this last shelter I had. Might be the best one, cleanest. Let's go. We were up there looking down at the Shenandoah River. Now we're crossing it. I've been on a road walk for a little bit now. This is where I was thinking I could catch up a lot of time. So after some nice easy road walking in this early morning, the sun's not beating down on me yet. We're just going to finish up section 21 here. And here we are about to start the last section of the Tuscarora Trail, section 22. So just after a short walk on Route 30 there, you go into this private driveway here. Oh, there's a sign that says hikers only. This is a private driveway though. Eventually it's supposed to lead to a tunnel. And we're supposed to go underneath a railroad. Well, I think I see. We're only on the driveway for a second here. This is underneath the Norfolk and Southern Railroad. I feel like I just went back in time. So now we're walking along Overall Run. Had a little confusion there. Got to this concrete marker of the Overall Run Trail. And you get the double blazes and you see a blue blaze to the right, but you're supposed to turn to the left. Even if you look on the post, it says Tuscarora Trail, Overrun Trail this way. I walked down there for a while and just walked back up. The guide says turn left. I was just following the markers thinking like, I don't need to look at the guide, the markers are right there. I mean, I gotta be going the right way. I mean, there's blue markers going all the way down that hill and then they stopped. That's what made me think twice. I was like, I haven't seen a blue marker in a while. And I said, oh, I think I was supposed to go left up there. Let's go back up and check. Lo and behold, left looked like the way to go. Let's hope I made the right decision. This is the right direction, so. We're about to start our final climb up to the AT. I've yet to see any blue markers this way though. I don't know if I should start worrying or not. Like I said, this is the right direction to the AT. Well, there's a blue blaze. Finally, I see one. That was weird. They went off to the right, but took you the wrong way. Open the map up on all trails, and they have a lot of the other little trails around here. And it looks like that would eventually loop around to where you want to get, but it looks like it would take the long way. I feel better now that I see blue again. Okay, we're good, we're good. I was like 99% sure this is right. And if it wasn't right, it's still going in the right direction. But see, that sky blue makes me feel better.
Well, that's my last scoop of water on the Tuscarora Trail. Right here from Overall Run. Less than 4 miles out now. This is probably my last significant break. And my last chance at easy water, I think. It's been a great trip. This is a trip I'm going to remember forever.
So making my way up these switchbacks. We're coming up near Matthews Arm Trail to lead down to the campground. And I found a little campsite off to the side here off these switchbacks. Somewhat flat area right there. I've seen worse. Oh, and just up the trail from that campsite, there's no camping for the next half a mile. If you're wondering how this climb is going, it's going up. Straight up for a while. Not really any views, some views through the trees. Just past the family coming down on a day hike. Boy, that means we're getting close. I knew this last push would be rough. I left so early and I've just been crushing time. I'm gonna be pretty early. We're gonna have about almost a half a mile walk on the AT till we get to the parking lot I'm getting picked up at, which is going to be Hogback parking lot. Hogback parking for the AT. There they are. So those are the highest falls in all of Shenandoah National Forest, 93 feet. That's the view here. Whoa. There has been switchbacks coming up, endless switchbacks, steep switchbacks, starting to turn into stairs now. So my the time is finally coming up on the Tusky here. The Tuscarora Trail, 250 miles. And I'm about to complete it. I can't wait to go through the footage and relive all this. Now this has been different than my usual videos. I really concentrated a lot on getting the hike done rather than my usual video taking. Hope I did it justice. I didn't do all the big walk-away shots I usually do. I tried to stay away from the turn-by-turn directions unless, you know, I felt it necessary to say what I'm doing, but it's a pretty straightforward trail to follow. There are some parts for the detours, and there's one confusion back there today during this section 22. But it's been marked really well. I just wonder if I would have kept following those blue markers, if it eventually would have led around a different way. I don't understand what that was for, but I'm on the right route. Blue markers all the way. And it was very seldom that I didn't see blue markers. Most of the time it was on the road walking. You don't see them for a while. But when you get these guides, I highly recommend getting the guide. There's two of them. This is the southern one. The northern one should be at my house by now because I mailed it home. But yeah, they really put together a nice guide, nice maps. The website is put together really well with updates, emails to get a hold of people and ask questions. Yeah, it's set up and it's ready for you. With the shelters from that grant from REI in 2015, you get all these great signs to let you know the mileage between different spots. And most of the shelters are really nice and newish. I only saw a couple that were kind of old, a few. I didn't see all of them, I don't think. I think I skipped a couple. But for the most part, they were all new. New within the last 10 years, that is. As for my hike, as for what I thought of it, my plan, very happy with my plan. There could have been many different ways to go about this. Obviously, you could have done fewer days. I was very happy with the way I've done it, especially these last 3 days, because these last two climbs, the one last night and the one today, you know, they were significant. Out of the two towns you visit, Woodstock was my favorite of the two. It just seemed like you had more to do, more places you could walk at your convenience, like right around you. That'd be the place to take the zero. The only thing about Hancock is right in the middle of the trail, so it's almost like a gimme, like Hancock is where you want to take a zero. But I really enjoy my zero in Woodstock as well. Happy with the mileage I pulled. There were some days where I did a bunch of 20s in a row, 20 pluses in a row, and I felt like my body felt good through the whole thing. Kept up with my stretches. The physical therapy I went through before I came here, 100% definitely helped. I'm gonna make sure I thank the doctor who treated me for this, because he was very intrigued by this trip and the other doctors there that were helping me. So I said, I'm gonna go for it. What do you got to lose, right? I mean, I was gonna do anything stupid. I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. It worked out, man. I'm telling you, stretching and strength training works for your IT band. Most days, especially the long days, on most days I started the day with 1 extra strength Tylenol and 3 ibuprofen. There was only one day where I doubled that up. Terrible day when I got to the Girard shelter and I just had it. I remember that day I mixed up my mileage, or I went backwards. That was the worst day on the trail. That was a bad section. What section was that? That was so grown in. And then there was that section right after the Foster Hollow shelter. It was very similar, but added Pennsylvania rocks to it without the climb, but that was tough too. Obviously the Pennsylvania section, you got way more rocks. You're gonna come across rocks down here too, but not like up there. It does get better as you go south. Oh, hi. Boy, I must be getting close. A lot of day hikers coming by me. One downside to the trail is there is definitely a lot of road walking, especially in and out of Hancock. There's a significant amount of road walking, and then it's around that detour. You're on the road for a while. You can make up a lot of miles on that, but especially when I was doing it in the heat of the day in beginning of June, that was hot, you know. I got through it, but it might not be for everybody. Road walking does take you through all that farmland, which is so pretty and peaceful. And the crows and the roosters off in the distance, and the pastures and the wildflowers along the road. Yeah, it was great timing. This is great timing for my trip. Like I said a couple times on the trail, unless you're gonna come here before everything grows in and it'll be a little cold, but you're not wearing shorts on the Tuscarora Trail unless you want to torture yourself. Grown in, thorns. Whew. I'm so thankful for these long pants and my gaiters going through a lot of that stuff. Permethrin too. Saw one tick the whole time on me. Right on my pants, flicked them off. Never had a tick on me. All in all, this 250 miles plus. It's going to be the longest trail I ever did, start to finish. Longest days out. 2 town stops. Oh, it feels good to accomplish it. I'm trying to think what my favorite part was. Today is my favorite part. It seems like whatever day I was on was my favorite part, you know? I can plan for like a 3 or 4 day trip, and at the end of the last day, you know, I think to myself, could I do one more day? No, I'm ready to go home. It's in my head, you know? Plan a 7-day trip. I can do 6 days, no problem. 7th day, I'm ready to go. Can you do an 8th? No. I was wondering if I could do, like, mentally was always the hardest thing for me. Do you know what? You prepare for it, you plan, and there wasn't one day that I thought to myself, boy, I wish I could go home early. That one night going into the yard shelter, I remember messaging home saying, I'm about 70 miles to the finish and I think I hit a wall. But I got myself together. But yeah, I mean, 18 days. All in all, I think it'll be 16 days of hiking. That's a good average. I don't mind. Everybody hikes their own hike, you know. Couldn't be happier. And the weather. Gear-wise, I was very happy. My new Vecto bottle that replaced my Smart Water bottle is a little goofy at times, but it got through. It's just I'm used to a sturdy Smart Water bottle, you know. But I can't think of any complaints I have about my gear. I remember last year on the PA Wilds trip, I was rained on and rained on. And I said, I'm always taking a tarp with me, especially on a long trip. And I got to use it that one night and it did help. Now, when I woke up in the morning, it wasn't raining barely, but just to know that I had it. So that'll be coming all the time. The tent held up great, mostly shelter camping. Yeah, gear-wise, my feet did great. There were some days where I pushed the wetness a little too much on them, but I couldn't be happy with these Lone Peak 9 Plus. I forget what makes them a Plus, but they held up great in all the wet weather. Insole stayed in, never flopped around. Blisters were very minuscule. Seems like I got a blister on the side of my big toe right away, and it kind of just hung out there and never really bothered me. Another tiny blister on one of my little toes too, but like I said, it never really bothered me, nothing I had to address. The nights where I had my feet wet, every night I put Aquaphor on my feet. And then I put socks over them. And that really heals them up quick from what I found. I was very happy I got a wallet too. Little travel wallet. That came in handy in town. Said I used to just take a baggie, you know, with my license and a card in it and money. And an actual little, just a wallet. You slide cards in it and had a money slot in the back. Boy, that was nice. Kept the hotel room key in there and everything. The stay at Hancock was okay. The Comfort Inn in Woodstock was, oh boy, that was nice. That was like luxury for me. That was a nice hotel. Taco Bell right across the parking lot. Yeah, I had to visit there. A couple nice taverns in town. All the fast food you could want. Yeah, Woodstock was nice. So should you hike the Tuscarora Trail? I had fun on it. If you like hiking up on the ridge lines, through some rockiness and some big views, and then hiking down through valleys, on some farm roads. I mean, that's what you're looking for. This is where it's at. The shelters are set up so nice in between where you can really have a shelter every night if you wanted. There's some mileage I wanted to do on certain days where I skipped the shelter, but it's nice to know you have shelter and water nearby, especially when you don't know what the weather is going to do. So yes, I'd recommend the trail. It's put together nice. There's definitely love put into it. The club that runs this, the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club, does a great job. Check out their website. I'm gonna fill out a detailed report of my trip and send it in to them and hopefully get a patch back for my completion of the Tuscarora Trail. Yeah, I saw one other thru hiker the whole time, and I was the only one he saw the whole time. If you want a more rugged, now I've never been on the AT, just little pieces of it, but they say if you want a more rugged version of the AT, one without all the people, Tuscarora Trail will fit that bill. Yeah, if you're looking for a little more solitude with the AT feel, town stops and everything, Tuscarora Trail is fun. Now, I'm not saying the AT wouldn't be fun. I never have done it or been on a long portion of it, but I'm sure it's fun because enough people do it. But this was great for me. You know, as I'm winding this adventure up, biggest adventure of my lifetime so far, I guess I'll get a little personal. I try to keep it about the trail or about my experience of the trail, but I couldn't help but think of some things on this trip. So just for a minute here, let me address something that, this past Christmas, the day after Christmas, my father went to the hospital and he never came out. And, although it was expected, we knew the time was coming. I mean, I've never lost somebody that close to me before. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, even friends. But it was different. I don't, you know, even though you're expecting it, it's like a piece of you's gone, you know. But I think about the weather on this trip, about how things just went my way. That first day when I stayed in the shelter and decided to stay the night, met that other thru hiker, but he really inspired me. And I made the right choice. You know, the rain stopped, and that day I got to the next shelter. I think it just stormed right after I got to shelter, and it was fine in the morning. There's a day I got lost, and the clouds opened up, and I saw that big view. But when I got lost, it would have been cloudy and rainy when I went by that view. And then the rain came that night and gave me water. I've ran into some bad weather, so I talked about, you know, bringing a tarp from now on, you know. But I wasn't wet all the time on this trail. I mean, I got wet and I dealt with some things, but it seemed like the weather was in my favor, almost there to help me, especially when the rain came to give me that water. I just can't help but think that my dad's up there pulling some strings for me on this one. He always had my back, no matter what. I think he did one last time here. I couldn't help but think that when you're out here in nature and country like that, and you just, for so long, and you think about things like that. Just went my way too many times to be a coincidence. I don't know. Thanks, Dad. Well, there it is, 250 miles, Tuscarora Trail, done. From here, it's 0.4 miles to the hogback parking lot of the AT. Trip to remember forever. See y'all next time.